Alright, let's get started. Sorry about that. Welcome. I hope everyone's going well. Tonight we are going to jump straight into it today. I think I've got... Oh no, that's just a bit of lag. Sorry, I got the video feedback. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it today. What do we want to do? Well, we want to make sure I've got the latest code on my development machine. We're also joined today. Socks is here, so you can see your tail. So yeah, all right. Let's clear that. Now we should be in the development branch. Yep, easy done. What we want to do, go over here. We're going to start up the server. We are going to go npm run watch, because I don't know if I've got the latest build. Probably not. I'm just going to wait a little while. All right, cool. It's all built. Let's jump over here. Let's go into localhost. I think I've got the GDPR stuff on here. Yeah, all right. Might need to destroy it and rebuild it just in case. But the idea here is if we go into our NearBeach and our U-Track stuff, we've got a bug where we're trying to build up the fixture and get the unit tests up and running. We want to make sure everything's going to be working. So, go into issues. I do believe missing data for objects, it's this one. And we have got pretty much all of it done. I think now we've got to go through and remove people and stuff like that. The other thing is I'm going to set up a 2FA. And we've got to also investigate the MySQL issues. So I feel like I've got to do this one first. So we'll... All right, so one of the things which I don't like doing at all is having inline SQL. One of the main reasons being is, well, there's two main reasons why. The ORM handles a lot of the character escapes and SQL escapes and all that kind of fun, enjoyable stuff, but also it handles the differences between each database. So at the moment, this will not run in MySQL. It most likely won't run in MariaDB or Oracle or Postgres. It currently only works on SQLite, which is not what we want. And hey, Nocturnal, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. So yeah, I'm gonna have to read all this, see what I wanted it to do, and then essentially try and figure out if I can get it to do what we want. You're okay? Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm back at the gym. I'm actually back at the gym doing exercises and stuff like that. Nothing hard. More doing my usual exercises, but with sort of on the cables and stuff like that. Which reminds me, how's your deadlifting going? So yeah, I've got to rewrite all of this. And I'll just whack myself in the face with the ball, not the super screen, sorry, the ad time screen. All right, for those on YouTube wondering what's actually happening, we run ads on Twitch every half an hour. We do that so people don't get their preloaded ads, the ads when they join a channel. They suck, they're terrible. So what we do is we do this and we just don't do really much else. And I'm realizing my hair is looking absolutely terrible today. I need a haircut and more hair. And I dropped the ball. How are we with ads? About 45 seconds left of the ads. And for those on Twitch, don't forget to drop. Alright, I am going to do Judgmental Lily. Cool, and there she goes. Now we know Nightbot cheats, so yeah. About 20 seconds worth of the ads, or left of the ads, so yeah. I should replace shoulder face. We've got a new image now. Yeah. I'll do that later. There's a couple of things I've been meaning to do with stream, so I've also got to set up the new music and stuff like that. So yeah, one day. Anyway, welcome back everyone. So yeah, the idea is, even if I need to split this up into multiple different queries, or sort of queries and stuff like that, that's a lot better than doing it in line. So we've got a temp table. And we've got a temp table. Might be easier. We're passing through location ID. Camera's not there, sweetie. Yeah, that's so. Alright, so I'm going to see what actually is happening in this. We are going to scroll all the way up to here. We're just going to copy. Thursday was pretty bad. I was doing deficit, feet raised, about half an inch. Okay, deadlifts only got up to... but still, that's pretty good. 160 is a pretty heavy weight. So, yeah. Alright, what I want to do is I actually want to open up Data Grip, not Data Studio, sorry. And we are, there it is, we're going to place that over there, we're going to go over into here, we're just going to minimize this. I'm just going to wonder if, can I zoom in? I think that's good. All right, we're going to minimize this. We're going to open up this. We're going to right hand click. We're going to go new query console, and we're just going to paste in that query like so. We're going to scroll up to the top. We're going to tab everything back like that. We're, oops, just making, just did it again, piss. And then do something like that. All right, so the first one, and let's actually go with a sprint. Let's use a sprint one as an example because we've got it there. We're just going to put sprint one there. And then I'm just going to minimize this so we've got all of this. Actually, now where is that formatting? Oh. Alright, it doesn't matter. It should have been up around 180, but 160 felt really hard. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. It happens. Oh, I'm on live chat. Yep. But yeah, you'll get back to 180. Anything could, when I was really lifting weights and stuff like that, yeah, some days I'll just have a bad day just because I was tired or something like that. I had done 150 times 5 pull squats on Tuesday though, so probably still a bit fatigued. Yes, that could be the reason. So yeah, at least you're going to the gym, alright? Actually doing quite heavy weights, so yeah. Alright, going back with this. So we've got a with temp table and then we put stuff into the temp table. We've got the sprint object assignment, all of those, and then select distinct as project from all of that, and then we union that with that, and then we union that with that. And I'm just wondering, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm doing 2 queries here, aren't I? All right, let's just play with this. Temp table. And I'm trimming down, gaining weight, but getting less fat. Nice. Yeah, I need to lose. Oh God, how much is it? I think 20 kilograms. Still. So since the surgery, I've lost 10 kilograms, which is just a bit over a kilogram a week, which is good. But still got 20 to go. So yeah, I was a hefty boy when I went to surgery. And I knew if I didn't do anything, I'll get up to 140. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. All right, so I think I'm doing something weird here. I think at the time, yeah. All right, let's go to the front end. Let's actually see what data we actually get. And it might be one of those things that we sort of fix up very, very quickly. So I'm just going to hit reload. We've got the sprint information. I'm just going to hit this one. So we're going to get the data. So we've got the status results and the object results. So we've got title, description, status, and all that kind of fun stuff. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, they're there. And then we've got the status results for all of them. I honestly think I'm heavily leaning on the API for this. I have a lot of fat to lose as the same. So yeah. And I used to be really skinny as a teenager and stuff like that. I think my metabolism gave up one day. I was like, you know what? I'm done. All right, so I'm thinking a lot of this could be potentially moved to the API early, just this one little tiny call. And the reason being is with the API, we've actually got the serializers there, which will be a lot of help. Because I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a shape that it has, for example, object results, and then inside object results, we'll have title, description, status ID, higher order status, start and end date, object type, and so forth like that, where some of those fields could be null. And I think that's what these queries are trying to do. And then we're just doing it like this. I definitely don't like this. I think we need to do this a lot better. And we're doing it with the Gantt data too. Yeah, no, I don't like this at all. All right. Definitely don't like this. And if I have this in the API, it's just a simple call functionality, and then I could probably tweak it so it can be used in other different places also, like the Gantt charts, stuff like that, which we do want to utilize a little bit more. All right, and we got it. Add object to sprint. All right. And I guess yeah. Okay. All right, so plan of attack. Oh, let's go over here. Let's plan of attack. Really tiny text. And then that's, there we go. Plan of attack. All right, what we want to do is, we'll create another one. We'll do different colors and we'll do it little. Aye. Look at moving the functionality to an API call. The reason why we want to do that is the API has serializers, so it's trivial to serialize the data how we want it. We'll also need to make sure, find where this is called. Find all locations where this is called and update to the API. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be hard to implement because it's not overly complicated. The status results, that's just 3 different sort of areas where we can look at the status, and we are just keying out the value, the label, and the higher order the status. Sorry, the higher order status. This is for the sprints. So at the moment we've done something naughty. We've got inline SQL. It doesn't work with all the databases, and I'm like, no, we've got to make this work with all the databases. So I'm thinking just moving this to the API early instead of waiting and doing it later, because we can get this fixed, and this call's getting moved to the API anyway. So yeah, we're not going to be double handling this at all. So and we've got the API, it's already set up like this. So with the serializations, we just create a couple more serializers. I think 2 or 3 maximum. And then, yeah, it can handle all the data and all these calls. So at the moment, we'll have add object to sprint, which we'll call it. So if we go into back over here, let's actually record where it's used. So we'll do blue bean add object to sprint being one of the locations. We'll also have what is this one called? Sprint get data, or Gantt chart get data. That's pretty easy to do. I don't know if removing an object. Tell you what, we can just cheat. We can just find all these locations. So, got it called in there. With this one, this is add object to sprint. Yep. Get data. And that's it. It's the only 2 locations where we're actually calling that. So, I'm going to say pretty easy to do. I'm also double checking. So if we add something in, let's go add object to wizard. Let's go task. We're just going to add in a simple task in here. I'm just going to add it in. We just get the Gantt chart data back. All right. Not a problem. It just means I've got to set things up a little bit differently. Well, we'll figure this out. Oh, sorry. So under NearBeach, views, we have a Gantt chart view, and this is where this is kept. We have a look at all the structures in here. We've got the Gantt chart, Gantt data, get data, which we're only looking at sprints at the moment. Let's get rid of that. We've got the update data. Where it'll update the data. But it'll send back nothing. That's perfectly fine. Let's get the data and then get the status. Okay. I think first let's build the API first before we break anything. So under views, we've got all of this. I'm just wondering, is this a Gantt chart API or is this a sprint API? I'm considering I don't think we're using the Gantt chart anywhere else. It's really, we do actually have a sprint API. Which is pretty basic. So I'm trying to remember how everything sort of links with this, because there's a difference between Sprint and Gantt, and I think we wanted to build Gantt out in such a way that we could use it elsewhere, which is why we've got destinations in there. Alright, Now I'm having a good think, how do I want to make these calls and so forth like that. So if I scroll down here, we've got a bunch of data. So we've got the Gantt data sprint, we've got the object data sprint. This is where I could use my swagger.nearbeach.org documentation to also remind me how I was setting everything up. So I'll zoom in, I'll button that off to the right. So we've got all of that. We've got the groups and users, we've got the links. So those are the connections. We've got the notes, we've got the sprints. So we've got the object sprints like that. So we've got the get and post. And that will be like project and something like that. And then it'll come back with a list of all the sprints that are under there, and we're all happy with that. This actually, that creates, all right, yep. And that gets, but we don't get a single, got available data. We've got Kanban boards, Kanban cards, organization, customer, projects, requests for change tasks, requirements, sprints, here we go. So the individual sprint will be here. Oh, I think we got the data. We might not need to do much work. We might already have the data all set up, and I've just never moved this across. I don't think we've got everything that we need, but we've got, yeah, we got it. Okay, so we've got it in that format. Oh, sorry. The last thing I want to do is do a conversion. So we have a look at this data. Yeah, we've just got it all in one giant sort of summation. It just all is there. Whereas with the API, we've got it actually separated down into the objects, which is not exactly what we want. So we'll have the title, the description, status, higher order status, start, end, object type, object ID, parent object, and then parent object ID. So we need it sort of in that format, which we can do. It's not going to be too hard to actually implement. So the organization will be fine. Yeah, we won't need as much information as this. So yeah, looks like we've got most of what we need. We now just need to put it in a certain format. All right, and when we're actually adding something, yeah, it's just an object and their ID. Okay, and we get all of that, yep. Yeah, all right. Let's have a look how we set the API up. So we're opening up the Sprint API. So we're going to put that there. We will probably open up mini serializers and stuff like that, but we'll go through that as we do. So there's the example. We're going to skip create because we don't need to worry about create at the moment. We don't need to worry about destroying anything. The list, this is what we need to note at the moment. So we've got object assignment results. So this is getting everything. I think retrieve is what we want. So we've got the query set all, we retrieve what we want, otherwise we give a 404. Easy done. All right, we just set a couple of stuff and then we do the serialization. So I'm just gonna bump down into the serializations. You okay there, Socks? So we're sending the Sprint results down into the serializer. Implementation. All right, cool. Oh, sorry. All right, straight away, what I can see is we'll have project requirements. We'll also have other stuff in here too. I'm not too worried about it. And then we've got the object dictionary being a project. Yep. All right. Cool. Now that's with the create. Don't need to worry about that. We've got the meta, and then we've got the get fields. And then yeah, this just populates everything. All right. So, how did I get this to work? So you got the sprint roll results. Yeah, all right. Let's open up Postman. Ah. Give me a second, sorry. Just gotta get this signed in. I am human. All right, that's been signed in. Come on, Postman. All right, Postman's having a bit of a identity crisis. No, you're fine. No, you're fine. All right, sorry about that. Let's get back into it. All right, so with the Postman, I am just minimizing everything. I will, let's say I want sprint. I want, let's say the team leader. Let's say get sprint item 1. I need to get a new token. That's not going to be a problem. We've got everything running over here. I'm just going to go into the users. I'm just going to pick the team leader. We're just going to jump into here. We're going to go all the way down. We're just going to create an API key. It doesn't matter. 30 days is fine. And then I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to paste it into here. We're just going to send. All right, does not exist. Yeah, that's probably because we only got one at the moment. So yeah. In here, what we can see is we can see that there are no requirements and that it is part of a project. All right. Hang on, let's go back. Let's go down here. Project 12. Oh no, there's 12 projects. I don't know. Project ID. Oh, 12 fields, essentially. All right, so it's connected to project 10. We can quickly find that out by going back over here. We can have a look at just going back to the parent object. There we go, project 10. And Sherry, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. I told Nightbot off last time because I'm terribly sorry that they thought the emojis was a bad thing, but they weren't. They were fine. It was Nightbot's problem. So yeah, I'm terribly sorry about what happened last time. So yeah, you can put as many emojis as you want. That's fine. All right, and hopefully you're going well. Welcome back. All right, so that's connected to that, and that's perfectly fine. So all right, I won't need to touch the requirements or the projects. We do need to send through the list of objects. You're good? Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm good also. Been a bit busy at work, but otherwise, yeah, going well. Oh, and we've just hit an ad break on Twitch. So for those on YouTube, don't worry. We run ads on Twitch every half an hour to stop pre-rolled ads because they suck. We do this so no one misses out on any content. Don't worry, guys. Don't miss out on anything. So yeah, usually I solve Rubik's Cube, or we've got Socks here who's a bit frazzled because Patty is in the room. Hey, Patty. And she doesn't like Patty. She thinks he's going to attack her. But all he wants is love and pats. Isn't that right, Patty? You say, stop embarrassing me. So yeah, hopefully everyone's going well. We've got about 45 seconds left of the ads. We've got Socks here getting her sternum scratches. She does love her sternum scratches. So yeah. There we go. Oh, jeez. Alright, about 30 seconds worth of ads. I don't know where I put my cube. No, actually, I do know where I put my cube. I put it in the living room because I kept fiddling with it during the day. So, yeah. We'll just have to fiddle with the pen. I don't have anything to solve, but we've still got Socks right here. She's like, hello. I really got to change that picture of my shoulder. Oh, yeah. About 5 seconds left. Who are you and where are you from? YouTube just as I said. Alright, cool. I'm Robotic Head. I'm working on an open source project management system called NearBeach. I'm from Melbourne. Yeah. I like to program and talk about programming. Yeah. Whether or not I'm a good programmer, I'm still learning. So yeah, aren't we all? And welcome, Hit. I hope you're going well. So, in here, what's actually happening is it's coming through. Oops, I'll go back here. These projects is connected to its parent project, which we still want that data coming through. That's not going to be a problem because we're going to access some of that data. What we need to actually implement is 2 more fields in here, which we don't have. We need to implement, and if we go to the front end, I can actually show you what fields. We need to implement status results. No one is a good programmer, we're just less bad programmers. Yep, fair enough. I know that the term, you program in the bugs or something along the lines of that, so yeah. Which I've certainly made a lot of bugs in my time. I like to say I'm generally good enough to be dangerous. That's a good one, Nocturnal. I like that one. So, yeah. And for those wondering, I'm actually streaming on 2 platforms at the moment, so I might respond to someone from another platform. I run both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So, yeah. So, we'll need the object results in there and status results. Now, how I'm going to fill out object result, I don't know. But we'll figure it out. I'm sure we can do it. All right, let's have a look at the back data structure. So we've got sprints. So we've got sprint object assignments. And this is where we connect things up. Except I don't want it like that. All right. I think I remember. I'm going to do a small test first, and then we can expand on it. So, in the sprint serialization, what we want is we want status results. You'll be fine, Socks. He's just sitting there patiently waiting for his turn for pats. All right, so we want status results. We've got 3 different status results in here. And they're essentially a list of items. All right, so status results equals serializers dot status results serializer. I don't know if I want to call that sprint status results serializers. Or just status result, and the reason being is I could A status result seems very generic. I could potentially be using that everywhere else. And I think, yeah, in this sort of case, let's go sprint status results. And we'll make that status result right now. So under serializers, I am, it's not object data, it won't be user. I'm keen on, all right, worst case scenario, if I think I put this in the wrong place, I'm just going to move it later on. I'm going to put it under the serializers. So sprint status results serializer.py. And then from the REST framework, import the serializers. And then we'll need to, from NearBeach.models, import. We'll need to import the requirements, projects, I think. And then we want to do class sprint status results serializers. And then we'll have one for, it won't be these, it'll actually be the list of, I'm just going to do it like this, it'll be list of requirement status, list of project status, and then list of task status. And then in here, sorry, it has been months since I've had to touch these serializers. I'm just trying to rack my brain how I'm going to do this again. So I want, and we're going to try and match something like this. It's requirement item, not requirement. So we'll have requirement item, project, and task in there. What I want to do is I want to go up here and go right to that, like that. And then I want to go up here and I want to go serialize. Actually, that's what I think I made a mistake over here. I've got serializers there. It'll be like this. All right. And then we'll have in here, we'll have something like, I have to record a video of me talking about my AI usage. Oh no. Oh no. See, I'm happy to talk about mine. I use mine as more of a quick reference, like Wikipedia. I use it like Wikipedia. It's a great place to start, but from there I'll jump into documentation, other bits of code, and stuff like that. Yeah. Sometimes it's great for getting out those keywords that you need. Because, like me, I'm terrible at remembering everything. Those keywords, so you can search the documentation for it. Alright, in this sort of case, this is where we want status results serializer. Or do we want to call this status? Status serializers. I think it's going to be a little bit better. And then up here, I'm just going to knock that down to status serializer. I think that should be okay. What does this project do? So this is an open source project management tool. At the moment, I won't be able to run this because I've broken stuff. Give me a couple of seconds and I can get this back up and running. Should start running. Now, don't you dare start a fight. Alright, so what is NearBeach? It's an open source project management system. What you can do is gather basic gather basic customer and organization details. You can get user requirements and break them down into requirement items. From there, you can break them. Let's say you wanted to create a Kanban board, you can do that. You can also create projects and tasks to help track your projects and tasks. And when you're ready to deploy, we've got a request for change. So yeah, it's pretty basic. The idea is we we come with the philosophy that one particular task is not done by one person, but a multitude of peoples. And also, instead of one project being done in one particular group, it's actually shared over multiple different groups. A good example of this is, especially when you're at corporate, stuff like you'll have a front-end team, a design team, you'll have a back-end team, and all that kind of stuff. And you'll have a project that needs to expand across all those sort of teams. So our system allows you to pick and choose which groups are going to have access to certain projects and tasks within the system. So yeah, that's how we are differentiating ourselves. Hopefully we're not too crazy about that. So yeah. And for those on Twitch, don't forget to ! drop followed by your favorite emoji. We need to beat Nightbot because Nightbot likes to cheat. I am doing Grumpy Max. Alright, so I'm going to go sprint status serializer. In here we'll have the status serializers. So I am just going to right hand click new Python file. I'm going to write in status serializer.py. In here we're just going to go import REST framework. No, hang on. From REST framework import serializer. Sorry, I use so many different languages. I always get confused between them. So this will be status serializer. We'll need to add code in here. That is not the right sort of thing. Front end, back end teams, not very agile of you. Well, I couldn't think of an example quick enough. Suppose Scrum more than Agile, yeah. So, yeah. We'll need to flesh this out. We'll only have 3 fields in here, which is good. So I'm just going to copy all of these. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy that. Can I copy that? Yes. That's just for reference. We'll comment that out. And ToggleBit! Welcome. How are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome Raiders. I hope you guys had a wonderful stream with ToggleBit. And thank you very much, BiteCube, for the follow. Welcome. So I'm Robotic Head. I'm working on an open source project management system called NearBeach. Tonight we're actually fixing up a bug, which I did a couple of no-nos, for example, inline SQL, big no-no. So NearBeach is an open source project management system. You're able to sort of gather basic organization and customer details. From there, you can gather your customer requirements for a particular project and break them down into. Hey, no fighting. No. Hey, sorry about that. Give me 2 minutes. Gotta break them up. Hey, stop it. No. Oi. Alright. Sorry about that. Trust them to do it when a raid happens. Yeah, they haven't fought all day, all week, actually. It's been nice. And then all of a sudden... Where was I? Oh yeah, NearBeach. Yeah, you can gather basic user, basic requirements and break them down into requirement items. Think of user stories. From there, you can create Kanban boards, projects, and tasks to help you track your projects and so forth like that. And when you're ready to deploy, we've got a request for change. Cat's picked the best of times. I know. It's annoying. She sort of starts swiping at Patty and hissing and growling. He's like, "What's going on?" And then, and then she came back for thirds too. I just like, I had a piece of rubbish which I was hoping to distract them with. It's just, you guys probably heard it. It's just this thing. I was like trying to. it's just an empty bag, and I was trying to like throw it in between them, and it's like Socks is in the bedroom now. She's locked in there. She'll be fine. She'll calm down. Yeah, so I'm sorry about that. At the moment, we're trying to fix an issue. We are going to actually be moving a single call, maybe 2 calls, for the sprints into the API. So we're slowly implementing the API into NearBeach. The idea being is with 0.32, most of the calls will be through the API. And yeah. So we've got to build up the serializers now. So in here, we'll have a value equals, and thank you very much, Nickerman, for the follow. So yeah, I do apologize about the cats fighting. And this will be an integer field. Easy done. So we'll have value label serializers. Is it character field or text field? Character field. And we'll have the higher order status, and that is going to be, it's most likely going to be an enum. In this sort of case, I'm happy with keeping it as a character field because this is only going to be read-only. And it should be just those 3. And they should all be required. And I'm trying to remember if that is on by default. But we'll put it in anyway. And I think the max lengths for those are going to be that, but we'll double check. So an easy way to check is a list of requirement statuses. No. 10 and 100. All right, easy done. Good thing that I double checked that. 10 and 100. So that will be 100. That will be 10. All right, easy done. And Scotty, how are you going? Apart from the little cat fight that just happened, then I'm going pretty well. So yeah, they're separated. They'll calm down. The next ad break, I'll probably run out, check how Patty is going. Yeah, because all he was doing was he was sitting down, and then Socks is just not happy that he's in the same room as her, and she's, of course, decided to hiss and growl, and you probably heard it. So yeah. Alright, so what we want to do is from NearBeach serializers import, and then we want to import the, actually from dot status serializer import the status serializer. Done. So we've got the requirement item, and then we've got the, I'm just double checking all the naming conventions. So I'll bump that off to the left. So in here we've got requirement item, project, and task. That's how we're naming it. Just playing around with Mojo. Ooh, nice. You showed that off last time you were here. I sadly have not been able to play around with it yet. We're going to go required equals false for these particular ones, because if they're empty, we don't want the system failing, and they, in a very rare case, they could be empty. So it'll be fun like this. So we've got requirement item, project, and task. That should fill those out. In this sort of case, I don't think we need those. And Copilot, hey, how are you going? Sorry, I just saw your message. I was absolutely distracted with the raid, the cats fighting, and me trying to get my brain back onto track. All right. Do you personally like the Mojo? Oh, that's good to hear. All right, sorry, I'm just trying to think, how am I going to fill this data out? Do I actually really need these? I don't think I do. I think this is the shape that we're going for at the moment, and this is good enough. We've got the... So this is the sprint serializer. We've got the... So yeah, this is the sprint status serializer. We've just got to import it now. So down here, what we want to do from NearBeach, whoa, all right, not what I wanted, thank you very much. Sprint, oh, we've called it sprint status serialized. Give me a couple of seconds. Let's just rename that. Because what are we calling it here? Sprint status serializer. So give me 2 seconds. I am trying to remember. Done. All right, perfect. From NearBeach, got serializers. Dot sprint status serializer. Import the sprint status serializer. All right, cool. Oh yeah, and don't forget everyone, you can exclamation point drop followed by your favorite emoji. I am going to do I'm going to do grumpy Max again because he's grumpy that Socks is starting a fight. All right, so in here we've got the sprint status. That in here we'll have many equals true. I've also got to do allow null equals true. These will be read only equals true. Yes, so I've got to yank these 3 lines. We're actually going to go down here. We're actually going to paste these in, and what we're going to do is get rid of that. So that should be a lot better. And then in here, yep, all right, cool, required. That's perfectly fine. I think the bot is cheating. It is cheating. So because the bot goes off, I think exactly every 5 minutes or something like that, for some strange reason, it always gets very close. I'm pretty sure it mostly gets the same results every single stream. So yeah, it is cheating. It's annoying. But it is possible to beat. People have beaten it before, so yeah. All right, so there's the status results. We're gonna ad break in 5 minutes. All right, cool. I will go off and fetch patties. So we've got the status results. Now we need object results. So object results is going to be the sprint object results. And that is going to be many equals true, allow null equals true, read only equals true, because we're not actually updating these. We're not mutating them. We're sending this to the person. All right, cool. So in here, I'm going to right hand click. We're going to create another Python file. It's going to be called sprint object. It's not meant to be sprint object result. It's serializer. Easy done. All right. So going in here, we are going to do that. And then, yeah, from REST framework, import serializers. Yep, that's what we want. Then we want a class, and then we want to call it sprint object serializers, and we want to do that. Now with the serializers, I'm just going to copy value. We're just going to paste it in. This is how it's going to look. All right, it's something pretty easy to do. So going from the very, very bottom, we're going to go, oh, these are going to be in alphabetical order. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F. Now, you might be wondering why alphabetical order. I have trouble finding stuff that's not in alphabetical order. So, yeah, it's just something I do for myself. Alright. I'm pretty... I think that's all in order. Famous last words. All right, so oops, I've got the shortcut key. There is a shortcut key to jump most of that, but that's fine. We'll just do all of that very, very quickly. It'll be easier just to write title. All right, so the description is going to be a serializer character field. Max length is, I don't think there is going to be max length because this is a description. I'm going to have a look at what we did with the project. So in project, we've got the project description required equals true. All right, done. Happy with that. Now the end date and start date sort of stuff, we've got those. So serializer datetime field required equals true. Yeah, easy. Ooh. Requirement items don't actually have a start and end date. Now the reason being is that they're like user story. You don't have a start and end date for a user story. You're meant to come back to them and be like, all right, cool. Have I actually finished off this user story? Does it do exactly what they want? So we are going to write in a false here, like so. Now the higher order character field required. Now that required is going to be a true, and max length is going to be 10 that we just found out just before. That should be fine. Object ID will be a serializers.integer field. That will be a required equals true. Object type is serializer character field requirement equals true. Object type, that's going to, object equals true. Parent object ID, yep. The start date will be, yep. Oh, yep, the false for that one. The status ID. Now, yeah, it will definitely have a status. Serializer character field, max length is 255, and then required equals true. Easy done. Now I know that there's going to be some ads on in a second. Once the ads start, I do have to run and try and calm down at least one of these cats. There's the ads. All right, I will be right back. I do apologize. Yep. This is Patty. For those who haven't seen him before, I've had him for about 6 months now. He's 15 years old, and Socks does not like him. And sometimes he likes to sit down in the room and watch me. All he wants is love. That's all he wants. It's pretty simple. He has the couch. He's happy to share the couch. It's just Socks doesn't want to share anything around him. So, yeah. Anyway, welcome back everyone. So, going back into this, we've got this all serialized now. We need to jump over here. We just need to include this, and that's just as simple as going from NearBeach. I hate how it just decides to be like, oh, I'm just going to do everything. We want the sprint object serializer, import the sprint object serializer. All right, cool. I spelt something wrong. I'm quickly fixing that up. There we go. Easy done. Alright, so we now sort of have this structure set up where we've got both the status results and the object result. And the good news is what we could potentially do is I forgot where I was going with this train of thought. We could let's just populate it with data. Alright, let's get into it. I'm just going to close all tabs. That's perfectly fine. We're going to minimize that. I'm going to get rid of the structure. I'm going to open up this. We're going to go into the NearBeach. We want the views. We want the API. We want the sprint API view. Done. Now, with the list of all the items, we don't want to actually have those particular values in there. So I'm also going to open up the serializers, and I am going to open up the sprint serializer. And what I'm going to do is, in the case of, so the object results and the status results, allow null equals true. That's going to be fine. All right, I'm happy with that. So what will actually happen is when we get a list of every single sprint, we won't get those particular results because A, it'll slow down the query, and B, it's adding in a lot of data that the person does not need. And well, C, if they want that data, they need to go to that specific sprint. So yeah. So we've got all of that. Sprint. So all I need to do now is sort of fill this out. I'm good with this. Get the statuses of the objects. And all we need to do is we need to go sprint results dot. Oh, and this is where we want to go status results. Dot requirement item equals it's raining. So list of requirement item statuses dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false. That's pretty much that. And then we want to annotate. Now, if we remember back here, so we're doing the sprint statuses, we've got the value, label, and higher order. So I want to say value equals, and then I think we want to do the field, and then we want to do status ID, And then we've got the label equals, and I think it's the status, or I'm gonna have to look in the back end, sorry. It's been quite a while. So list of requirement item statuses. So we have a look in here, we've got requirement item status, requirement item higher order status, requirement item status order, and so forth like that. We could actually just do this in a for loop, can't we? Yeah, we can definitely do this in a for loop. Alright, let's Why am I doing it like this? I just am. Alright, so we've got the value and label. What we want to do is we also want to do something like this, where we have the destination, like that. Like that. So we've got the requirement item status, obsolete. Requirement item status, yep. Requirement status ID, and then the requirement item higher order status, and then that will be the higher order status, which will be on here. Yeah, higher order status equals F with an F string, higher order status, like that. And then the values we only want out of here is quite literally value, label, and higher order status. And doing it in a for loop just means that we don't need to write this out multiple times. It's just condensed. It's pretty easy. Yeah. Now, in theory, that should work. But theory can only get you so far. Let's hit send. Ooh. Sprint object has no attribute status results. All right, cool. Not a problem. I know I've done this before, and I'm trying to remember how I did it exactly. I think I did something like that. Famous last words. Let's see if this works. Let's go send. Sprint object is not, ooh, all right. Not a problem. Let's find out if we got down here first. No, we didn't. All right. Now, I know I've done this elsewhere where I've been able to key in extra data for it to pop out the front. I'm trying to remember how I did that. We just gotta have to look through the data. You know, enum serializer. Oh God. No, that wasn't it. Let's pretend I never saw that again. Oh, what was it? What was it? What was it? What was it? Was it customer? All right, let's actually have a quick look. I'm not going to save that. I'm going to have a look at, not this one, team leader. I'm going to have a quick look at this one. I got project status, date card, all of that kind of stuff. What should I do? Alright, don't save. Okay. So sometimes I know I've done it before. I just need to find out where. Right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit this. We've gone here, so we're definitely here. And now it has problems here. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm doing this, so it'll only loop once, just to make sure it isn't part of the loop that's having a problem. I want to get rid of that. All right, I'm just gonna hit play. Yeah, sprint object is not scriptable. All right. I might have done something stupid. So Django object is not type error is not scriptural. Error indicates that there was an attempt was made to access an attribute or an element of object square bracket notation when the object does not support the method of access. All right, cool, sweet. We're clearly screwing up. Problem, you're trying to access a field. All right, cool. So what I want to do. So I do want to go back here and want to go back over here. So status results. Yep, we're just going to copy that. We're going to paste that into there. I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to make us get to this particular breakpoint. We're just going to hit send. We're just going to wait for everything to fall into place. So there it go. It has landed there perfectly fine. And it'll serialize. Now it won't do everything correctly because object results was declared, but has not been. Yep. Easy done. Not a problem. We'll fix that up right now. So I was screwing up there, and then we want to do a dot. No, we want to do a bracket here and go destination like that. Cause that's where I think we want to put that. Yeah. All right. No. Sprint object has no attribute status results. All right, hang on. I think I got an idea. I got an idea. Okay, so status results equals. Actually, I'm going to make it an object. Inside the object, we're going to have requirement item. We're just going to do that. We'll need to actually put these in quotations. We'll have requirement item. We'll have project, and we'll have task. Easy done. Then in here, we are going to go project to task, like so. We're going to get rid of this, and we're going to go status results, and then we're going to put in the destination in here. Now, We might not need those. There we go. Then we need to go sprint results dot status results equals status results. And I think that's it. Now we're just gonna wait. Cannot resolve keyword. Project status ID into field. Choices are I've tried doing this smart with a loop, but yeah, that needs to. I do believe we have a list of objects that we can easily look this up. We have under NearBeach utilities, we've got a bunch of enums. So we've got an object enum, which object priority enum, and then we've got a bunch of requests for change stuff. No, that isn't what we want. I do know we have somewhere. So we have an issue every now and then when we've got an object and set that into a variable. And what we can actually do is we can put that variable into a dictionary and get out the ORM object. So we've set this up a couple of times. I just haven't moved that information into a utility because it is something that should be used everywhere. I do know that we do have it in a particular place. It is called a list of objects or something like that. Object list, all in capitals or something like that. Oh, sorry. I am going to put on the case sensitive sort of stuff. We are going to just search for Python stuff. Oh, it's going to search for everything. So it'll be object, not quite object array. It'll be not the object status lookup. Not quite that. Not quite that. Object dictionary doesn't have all. That object dictionary doesn't have all of them, but we probably actually have a couple. We've got this object dictionary, and that doesn't have everything we need. Oh, this object dictionary does. Yes. I'm going to build a utility for this just because I keep coming across this and I keep needing it. It won't be part of object enums, definitely not. It'll be called object dictionary.py. Didn't copy it. Oh, it's this one. Internal functions. This is it. All right. It is part of, we've got to actually, I do need to move this. All right. So I'm going to move it. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy that. I'm just going to be like, all right, cool, paste it in here. What I need to do from NearBeach.models import, and then we do something like this. We'll have the change tasks, we'll have the customer, we'll have the project, we'll have the tasks, we'll have the requirement, we'll have the requirement items, we'll have the Kanban board, we'll have the Kanban card, we'll have the organization, we'll have the request for change. I can't spell. Request for change. We'll have the I need to actually import that separately. That's actually part of the Django config. Yeah, alright, cool. So we'll do that. Set everything up. And then from here, we'll go class, object, dictionary, and then what we'll have is, we just need the object string, object reference, like that. Models. Top. How am I doing this? Passing in that. And then we're getting all that. This might just be a function. I think this is just it, and then we return. We just do that. Now we might need to send back either a default object or something like that, but I think at the moment that should be fine. I mean, this is object dictionary. Yeah, I'm about 50% sure this is okay. The idea being is we'll slowly move everything else from that other object dictionary call to this particular one over time. So yeah, what I want to do is I want to go back into the sprint. Down here we've got the list of, we need to actually create one for the statuses. Alright. That's not going to be a problem. What I want to do is right hand click on here. We're going to do that. We're going to go object status dictionary .py. We're going to do pretty much from NearBeach, no, it's off. From NearBeach.models import, and then we're just going to go list of task statuses, list of requirement statuses, list of requirement item statuses, list of project statuses, list of task statuses, list of, we're just repeating those now. I don't think there's that many. I think there's just that. From here, we need to create our object dictionary. Now, this is actually, this is where, oh, sorry, I'm just having a quick think. Python classes. I'm just gonna have to look this up very, very quickly. So I want that as a class, but I just want... Yeah, alright. I don't want... Yeah, I just want it to be a function. Like that. That's what I want. No, but then it sends back the class. No. All right, no, I don't want a class. Don't worry. What I want to do is I want to have object dict equals, and it's going to be similar to this, where we're going to have task. I'm going to put these in alphabetical order too. We're going to have project, and that's going to be list of project statuses, dot objects. We're going to have requirement item. It's going to be list of requirement item status dot objects. We're going to have requirement. And it's going to be list of requirement statuses dot objects, and then we're going to have task and list of task statuses. So we're going to have it something like that. What's up? Name tuple, possibly. The idea being is I want to write a utility. So get object status from destination, and so we've got the destination, and then we return the pretty much something like that. I do need to null check this. So yes. But yeah, essentially I just want something like that. Because I know I'm going to be using these in multiple different places. And yeah, so having it as a utility would be a lot better than actually having it as a global variable somewhere. And then this could actually be, no, it's not in the class. And I know an ad break is going to happen soon. So yeah. To explain what I want it to do is I want to have in here, I want to import get status, get object status from destination, and then I'm going to put in destination in here, and then I can do dot filter. Yeah, can just use a dict. If you want it immutable, use a name to tuple. It will just be get attribute. Okay, yeah. And then if there's nothing, then I can send back a null. At the moment, I don't have any null checks in and around this, so yeah. Okay, ad break. For those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch, so no one gets pre-rolled ads. Essentially, you guys don't get ads, don't worry about it. We do this so no one misses out on any ads. You get to see me throw my pen around and drop it like there's no tomorrow. I sometimes solve a Rubik's Cube, but it's out in the living room with Patty at the moment. He's probably still a bit upset that Socks just attacked him. He's like, so I just want love. Yeah, hopefully everyone's going well tonight. Yeah, we're slowly getting there with this particular issue. I think moving it to the API is probably the best decision I could make. Get it away from that inline SQL. What's the time? 8:20. So I potentially could get this done tonight. So yeah, about 30 seconds left of ads. So yeah, I have nothing else to fidget with this. The ball's over there at the moment. So yeah, about 20 seconds. So yeah. All right, 8 seconds. I know this bit is a bit boring when I'm not doing anything. So yeah. All right, welcome back, everyone. So we've got the get object from destination, and then we pass for the destination, and then that should work now. So if I go over into here and I hit this, we've now hit this serializer. I'm just going to hit play. I'm just going to undo that thing, and it says status results was declared on serializer sprint, but has not been included in the fields option. That's a very quick and easy fix. That's me just missing one tiny thing. So we need to actually go into the serializer now. So I'm just going to right hand click on this. I'm just going to go to the declaration and usage. So we need to now include the status results and the object results in the field. So if we scroll down here, we'll have the sprint ID, sprint name, sprint status, destination, location, sprint So down here we've got those. I'm probably going to include these particular fields after all of those. So we'll have the sprint statuses in here, but we'll also have the object results just above it. In fact, I'm probably going to squeeze them at the end of the data, just because if you're hitting this API, you're reading that data. Yeah, you'll need that data, but a lot of this is mostly what you need first. So actually, date created, date modified. I am actually going to put you above that. Sorry, changing my mind. So we're gonna wait a couple of seconds. Status results was declared in the, but not. Status results. Sorry, my bad. Let's hit refresh. All right, I am just gonna move that over there. I'm gonna move this a little bit up. So here's the data. We're just gonna go into preview mode. We're gonna scroll down. We've got object results. There's nothing at the moment. That's perfectly fine. We're going to actually fill that out in a second. We've got the status results, and as you see, we've got nulls. Getting there, but we've got 3 statuses in there, so that's not too much of a problem. Now I've got to fill that out. Okay, no, I think I know what's gone wrong. So if we go back into the objects, sorry, into the Sprint API, yeah, we've got the. I'm just going to hit a breakpoint there. We're going to find out why, because in here it's meant to split down, and then we've got 3 extra fields in here. It's not meant to be like that. So I'm just going to send it again. So we've reached down here. If I hover over the sprint results, let's open this up. So requirement item. Yeah, we've got all of that coming out like that. Sorry. All right, I'm just going to step over. So we've got the sprint results. So if we open up the sprint results, we should have status results in here, which we open that up. We've got project We've got a dictionary of 3. So we've got requirement items, project, and tasks. So requirement items, there's a query set of 10. So if I go down into the sprint serializer, let's scroll up. We've got the many, no. All right, many won't be equal to true. Allow null equals true. Okay, I think that's where my mistake is, because it's now thinking it's an array, but no, it's a full-on object. Now I've just got to hit send again. I'm just going to hit play. We're just going to scroll down. This looks like it's worked. I'm going to hit preview. So now I've got status result, and there we go. That's what we wanted. Perfect. All right. Now our next thing is object results. So object results. Sorry, my feedback on Twitch has just, there we go. All right, cool. No, that was just a Twitch thing. All right, so we're all happy with that. The status result is giving us those 3. We can open them up and see all the statuses that can be assigned to a project. Oh, I've hit the, no, I'm still going. All right, give me a couple of seconds, sorry. Alright, I don't know why Twitch just glitched out. YouTube ain't glitching out. Oh yeah, I do apologize, those on Twitch. Anyway, we'll go back into here. So the statuses are working how we want it to, now coming out to the front end, which we're all happy with. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this. What we also want to do here is we kind of want to do object results in here. It's just going to be an array like that. What we want to do is that's getting the status. We want to get the object. So we want object results dot append. And this is actually no. All right, this is a little bit different because some of the, depending on the object, depends on the fields. Some of those fields don't exist under certain objects and stuff like that. So we are, and there's a bit of mapping and all that kind of fun stuff. So we are going to have a look at the data. So having a look at the data, if we actually close this and we open up object results like that, we've got the title, description, status, higher order status, start date, end date, object type, and all of that. We don't actually have sort order, which I've just realized. So if I move this down here, oh no, sort order is done by the start date and end dates and all that kind of stuff. All right. Which I do believe we can do. All right, give me a couple of seconds. I'm just having a think. Because yeah, items will always be at the top. I'm just going to hit refresh. 923, they're all 923s and stuff like that. But then you can squeeze stuff onto items like that. think it's meant to go items first, then projects and tasks that are sorted by start date. From earliest to latest. And then, yeah, I think that's how we're going to do it. All right, let's have a look. So, what we could potentially do is we could move this out into its own functionality. But first, I'm actually going to raise my desk because I am getting sick and tired of sitting. All right, so this particular method is getting a little bit crowded, so I want to sort of move this out of here. I'm going to close that. Now we do have, I'm just going to click on the structure. We're going to have a look at the structure. So got all of, this is, yeah, all right. I can make a static method in here. That's not going to be a problem. The reason I would want to create those methods is, well, to neaten up this, so it's not, so we don't have a lot of stuff in here. Which is what I'm trying to get at. All right, that's all fine. That will stay there. So yeah, and I think this will stay in this particular thing. Yeah. All right. Cool. So what we want to do is def underscore get sprint. What are we going to call it? If I scroll down, get status results. It's going to be like that, so it's going to be a static method, as I believe we're not going to do much with this. Oh, it's at static method. All right, cool. And it wants that, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, cool. Sweet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll all the way down. And scroll all the way back up because I passed it. I am going to cut this out. And I'm going to write get whatever, I'm going to get this. So we're just going to key this in like this. And then all we need to do is after the loop, we need to just return the status results. We'll be happy with that. Okay, I'm just going to copy that. We're just going to scroll all the way down to where that error is going to be. We're just going to paste it, and I think we can go self, got that. There we go, cool. So that will actually get the statuses, and we're going to do the same with the object data too. You know, one main reason to do this is just to make this look a lot nicer. That's mainly it. All right, cool. We're going to go get object results, which is also going to be a static method. Def get object results. So what we need to do is we need to get the requirement items. We need to get the projects, and we need to get the tasks, and we need to actually state the sprint ID. So with this, what we need to do is straight off the bat, we need to go object, this will be sprint assignment results equals sprint object assignment filter is deleted equals false, and also the sprint ID equals the sprint ID done. From there, what we need to do is we'll need to create a object results equals that, then object results. Now, give me a couple of seconds. That will be Python array of objects sort by. All right, cool. Lambdas. All right, so we've got this, and then we go append. From here, we're going to go get object from destination. Actually, no, we won't need to do that because we know what the object is. It's going to be a project.objects.filter is deleted equals false. The project ID in equals, now this is sprint assignment. All right, cool. We're going to do that in sprint object assignment results dot filter. And this is where the project ID is null equals false, and then we're going to know values, and that's just going to be project ID. We're all happy with that. So that will append that. It might be a concat. We might need to actually import this. Oh, for fuck's sakes. No. No. I'm getting really sick and tired of this filling stuff out when it shouldn't be. Alright, I've got to turn off that feature too. Drives me nuts at times. I'll be filling something out and I'll tab and it'll just fill it out and I'm like, no, I'm tabbing in. Piss off. Didn't want to. Alright, so annotate. This is where we've got to annotate everything to how we've got it. So if we actually have a look over here, we open up this, we open up the object results. I'm just going to copy value. I'm just going to paste this in. We're just going to do that and deal with this, how we're going to deal with it. So we'll have title equals, and this will be F, and this will be project. Ooh, and I'm Scotty B. I'm gonna say you had a copy and paste issue. Happens to me all the time. In fact, I called it out today. I was using something and I was copying it and it said, oh, you copied this. And then I pasted it somewhere else and it was a different value. I'm like, did I copy it? Did I copy it? Because that's telling me I didn't copy it. Alright, so I need to have a look at the models. So I'm just going to go here, I'm just going to go implementation, there we go, easy done. I'm just going to shove that off to the side. So we've got project name, it's going to be title, minimize this. We've got the description equals, and then we've got the project description. When we move to 0 to 32, all of this will be consistent. So the field names will be very, very consistent. We could potentially just, once again, do a for loop and go through this. No, I fell asleep problem. Coffee makes me go to, oh wow, yeah. I have 1 cup of coffee and it keeps me up. Well, if I have it at 9 AM in the morning, it'll keep me up till easily 11. Yeah, I'm just one of those people where coffee just is super works. I can't have more than 1 though, so yeah. Now we've got the project status ID. I think we can just pass the ID through in this sort of case, so I'm just going to pass the ID through in this sort of case. The higher order status will equal, now this will be the project status under project higher order status. And then we've got the start date, project start date, we've got the end date, project end date, we have the object type. That's actually going to be a value of project. Now we don't have value on here, so we're on 66 at the moment. Oh, we do actually have value. We just needed to do it like that. So we got the object type, object ID equals the project ID is done. We've got the parent object type. This is a none. Hamid, how are you going? Welcome back. We've got the parent object ID. I think we're just going to leave those as nulls. If I have a look at back here, okay, parent object type. Alright. I might need to rewrite this a little bit, but that's fine. No, I had fall asleep problem. Oh no, wait, I read that already. Don't worry. Alright, so what was that? My OA. Again, that's object NearBeach object assignment. Alright. I'm actually going good, thank you very much. We are currently removing some inline SQL and moving it to RRM. At the same time, we were like, well, we can move this particular functionality to the API area, which will handle all the problems with serializations and stuff like that. So we're simplifying code. It's going to be great. Now, in this sort of case, we've got object assignment. And then this goes down even deeper. Shoot. All right, let me just minimize this. Okay, so I'm just having a read of the old SQL. So from NearBeach task, we're left joining onto list of statuses, task statuses. All right, cool, easy, done. Where the task statuses join up, and then we're doing a left outer join onto NearBeach object assignments. So we'll also have object assignments too. Where object assignments, yep, that's their connection. We have a link relationship of subobject, and the parent link is either a requirement item or project. And then, all right, yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, I think I've gone blasting ahead, and I should come back to the SQL. So in here, what we've got is we've got that. So this is NearBeach project requirement item. So this is I think I know why we did it like this, because we didn't have the ability for the left joins in the system. However, that being said, where's my data? Trying to remember how I've done all of this. All right. So that's installing the project now. That's doing that. I don't know what that is doing exactly. So, okay. Alright, so we're creating a temp table with a bunch of data in it. We've only got 5 fields, not as many as this. So that's project, that's tasks, and then we do the requirements. Okay, so I think I can ignore the temp table in the sense that what we're doing, yeah, we're just trying to decipher how we did this originally. We're going to keep the sort of same business logic. We're just now implementing it better. And welcome to the ad break. So yeah, for those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch. That's just to stop the pre-rolled ads. Yeah, we do this. So yeah, NearBeach Sprint Object Assignment. So yeah, the NearBeach Object Assignment is the table which sort of tracks what objects are actually connected to sprints. I think that first little bit of query is grabbing everything that we require, which I've also done at the same time. I've now got to sort of figure out, all right, cool, how are we filtering the next bit of data? And just remembering how it all sort of fits together. So yeah, it's just it's getting everything to we've also got a bunch of left joins and stuff like that. It's been a while since I've actually touched this piece of code. The equals 1, I will have a check. That could just be temporary code. Alright, and welcome back everyone. Alright, going back into here. The equals, this. Yeah, just ignore that. I tend to do that in my code just to modularize everything because there might be times in my code where I'll be doing stuff like this. And it's annoying having to add in the ands and alls and all that kind of stuff. So I do 1 equals 1, and that way I can move these around however I need. So the temp table is just getting all the sprint information, and then we've got a list of what we need. All right, cool. Then with this, what we're doing is we're doing a left join with the list of project statuses. So for oh, I think I know what this is doing now. All right. Now, I need to replicate this twice. Oh, maybe not. Because I've got all the projects, and it's just these last 2. Where is deleted? Yeah, we tend to have that in. All right. I need to I think this is why we ended up doing the inline stuff, because we couldn't find a left join ability. So you can do this following the backwards relationship lookup. So QS, department, objects filter, value list, flat equals true, print QS. All right, cool, select. All right. Let's have a proper read of this. So they've got volunteer department, department volunteer, and what they want is a VS department. So this particular table is as D, left join with this particular one, where department ID is null. Alright, so I need department objects, filter, department volunteer is null. Alright, not quite what we need. Alright, alright, I'm just gonna try one tiny thing. So we're gonna go over here. We're going to go source VM bin activate to activate my Python environment. Python 3 manage shell. From here, we're gonna go from NearBeach.models import. We're just gonna import everything. I'm going to go A equals project objects dot. I'm gonna go filter where pk equals 1. This is just gonna be simple. Boom, there we go. We've got one result in there. We're all happy with that. But what I want to actually do is I want to go values. I want to go project ID, and then when we do that, we just got the project ID. Great. But what I want to also do is, can I get to the object assignment table? And that's where I go back over here, and I've got department volunteer underscore underscore is null equals true. The website is, from a Python perspective, much better read from the website, which is the natural language. All right. What I want to do is, now they've got department volunteer. I'm just wondering if there's something really stupid that we can do, like yeah, no, that's just stupid. But hang on a minute. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not at all. These are all the object assignments now. All right, we're getting somewhere now. All right, if I go that and then I go underscore, let's say, project ID, it doesn't like that, all right? That is fine. If I have a look, choices a bug, creation date, folder deleted, object assignment. We've got project name, all that kind of stuff. No way. We can actually get the data we need. This is actually quite freaking awesome. All right. We can do this. So what we're actually going to do is we're trying to get the any certain conditions in the object assignment table to also appear. So if we go back here, you'll notice that the parent link and the requirement item link are in there. So we're going to go back over here, and we are going to have in here, so we've got the object results append, we've got all of this, we've got the annotation, so we've got down to the object ID, which we're happy with, and we're going to go parent object type equals, in this sort of case, it will be the requirement item ID. So that's going to be the field object assignment 2 underscores requirement item ID. Done. That's the type, isn't it? No, that's the link. Parent link. And parent object type equals, and then that will be value requirement item, like so. Oh, parent link. Oh, sorry, no, that's actually a particular type of field. Sorry, my bad. Oh, fuck off. Alright, I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste that in. What I'm going to do is I don't know if this is going to work, but I think we're getting somewhere. So if we go back over to the annotation, let's just clear all of that. Let's set this. So if we object assignment and then we go parent link, and then we do another object assignment under, and then we go requirement item link, item ID, we should get this, which is what we want. So we've got project ID, we've got the parent link as nothing, and then we've got the ID is none. Perfect. That's all we need. And then we've got the project ID is 1, the parent link is nothing, and object assignment is none again. And then we've got nuns and nuns and nuns and nuns and nuns. I don't think we've actually connected this with a requirement link at all, and that's perfectly fine. We can actually jump into the front end and see where this is getting connected. So if we jump into here, we go like this. We zoom all the way down to here to our links. We haven't actually created a link, so I am going to actually do a project. I'm just going to click on one of those and I'm just going to go, all right, cool. We're just doing that for a very, very quick thing. What we could potentially do is we could have a look at this. We'll have the parent link and then we'll have the project ID in here. Actually, it won't be project ID, it'll be meta ID. Unsupported field, meta ID. New, all right. I forgot what the frickin'. Tell you what, let's do this the opposite way. Let's go and find a requirement. Let's requirement item. Let's add a link in. Ooh. All right, I can't do it there. Task links, requirement item, this is task 60, so I'm going to go back over here. I'm just going to go a equals task.objects.filter. We're just filtering for pk equals 60, easy done. We're going to go values, and then we're going to go task ID, object assignment. Under, we want the parent link, and then we want the object assignment. Oops, that's going to be one word. Under requirement item ID, and there we go. So for the first one, we don't have anything. For the second one, we yep, that's fine. Second one, nothing. Third one, nothing, 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 nothing. Oh no. Oh, here we go. There we go. So we've got the task ID is 60. Object assignment is the parent link is going to be called the requirement item. We've got the object assignment requirement items, and that's 288. So this will work wonders. Now, I'm just wondering how we can distinct this. Perfect. Yeah. And in this sort of case, what if we do filter? I'm just going to apply a filter back down here. And this is where we go over here and we have a look at all of this. So link relationship is sub-object, or project ID, parent link equals requirement item. All right, cool. Yeah, that will be fine. So that will be object assignment parent link equals sub-object with a capital. Let's have a look at the front end. Subject of, yeah. That's the parent link I've got. It will be link relationship. All right. But we also want cases where we don't have that connected. So you'll notice both of those are now just spitting out that. So yeah, but we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere, so it is good. So if I go back over here, so we've got the object assignment parent link. Now that is got to be, parent link, object type. Yep. And object ID is that. From here, we're doing a left join. We need to make sure those are all connected. We just need to make sure that the link relationship is either. All right, cool. So we're going to go back up here. We're going to go object assignment under, and we're going to say link relationship under in. We're just going to open up one of those, and we're going to go sub object, and we're going to go none, or we're going to go like that. Just to indicate that can be either one of those three. I don't know if this will work. We can quickly throw it into our playground very, very quickly. So I'm just going to somehow copy this. I need to learn the shortcut keys for Vim for copying and stuff like that. So I'm going to go, let's go project.objects.filter pk equals, no, let's do the tasks again. So task.objects.filter pk equals 60. We're just going to paste that in the objects assignment, and we're just going to hit that. So that all dot values, and then what we want to do is we're really just wanting out the values of object assignment link relationship dot distinct. Done. All right, so that will work perfectly for us, because in this sort of case we do want those two to actually appear. I do believe not 100% sure, but we'll find out. do know that if all right. So parent link in, we need to do that. So object assignment under parent link in equals and that will be requirement item. Oh, I don't know if that will cut out everything, but we've got a couple of tests that we can do to get this to work. Okay. Whoop. I'm just having a look at the sprint. I'm going to move that off to the right for you guys. So in this sprint, we've got mostly tasks and items. I think we need values. We need to distinct them. So it'll need to be title, description, status, higher order status, start date, end date. Object type, object ID, parent object type, parent object ID. So I think this one could be potentially done. So I've done that. The requirement item ID is, oh yes, we need to also do that. All right, cool. So, and then we've got to do object assignment. That will be the requirement item ID in, and that will be the sprint object assignments results dot value. We need dot results dot filter in here. We've got to do the requirement. Whoops. Requirement item ID is null equals false. We just need to make sure that there are no nulls coming through, and then the values will be just that. All right, cool. So with this join, we'll also need to do that one last little tiny thing down there too. Won't take long. It will be a quick and short and easy one. So with the join status, we know that this will join up perfectly well because Django will handle all of that. We'll have the project IDs equal, yep, that'll be fine. The link relationship, we're done, and we're done the deleted. We've done that. All right, cool. So I'm very happy with how this is set out. We'll do this quickly with tasks too. This is also why we split this out into something like this. This is huge. This is absolutely a monster. In fact, I'm probably going to copy all the annotation and all that from there down because it'll be quick and easy to sort of set up. So now we need the object results.append. This is where we go task.objects.filter is deleted equals false, the task ID in, and then we go to the sprint object.filter where the task ID equals false, and then we go to the value task ID. Yep, that's all cool and dandy. We need to key in the tasks up here. Element OP, I'm just going to put task here. I'm going to split these into new lines like so. So list will belong up here. that will belong there. That'll belong there. Ooh, we don't have the requirement item statuses anymore, so I'm going to remove that. So going down here, we're going to scroll down here on this particular one. In fact, it's going to be easier if we just key that in. All of these are wrong at the moment, apart from the last couple of ones. All right. Oh. Sorry, just give me a little while whilst I'm thinking about this particular one. All right, cool. Let's actually update the names. So this will be task short description. I can't wait till I actually fix all of this up. So task long description. Then we have the task status ID, and then we've got the task status ID, and then we've got the task start date, then the end date, and then we've got the value of object type, and that will be task, and then we've got the task ID, and then that will stay the same. So, and I did not press escape then, or anywhere near that. All right. So that should all line up. We now just got to do the logic up here correctly. So on here, we've got the status. So we've probably got to do this twice. One for projects and one for requirement items. That's not going to be a problem. That's going to be really quick and easy to do. So, straight off the bat, what we want to do is let's do the requirement one first. So going up, we're doing the outer join task ID. So the link relationship is going to be the same. So we should go up here and go copy this. Just paste it in. We've got that in there. The next thing we're going to do is essentially, we're actually copying those 4 lines. That should be it. Because yeah, in this sort of case, we're doing the requirement item link, sorry. And I should make a note going tasks that have a requirement item link. And we're in another ad break, and it's probably going to be our last ad break for tonight. I do have some work to do at 10 o'clock, so yeah. All right, it's going along well. I'll keep dropping my pen. There. All right. Oh, that's the headlights. Ugh. All right. Yeah, so it looks like I can do it with the ORM. There's just a lot of fiddling around with this. I could potentially do this in a for loop with named tuples. That way it goes through it all and it sets the settings in a particular way. That will definitely shorten the code, make it a little harder to understand what's going on, but that's where comments come into play. Yeah, I'm just trying to think, how can I improve this? If I get this working tonight, I'll stick with it, and then I can fiddle around with it moving forward. Because what I could potentially do is set up a sprint where I know the results for, and welcome back everyone. So I could always set up a fixture where I know the results, do some unit tests, double check it out, and essentially fiddle around with the code until I get it down really well and the unit tests are working. So yes, got a couple of ideas. All right, cool. So we've got the sub object, we've got this. Now this is the in statement, and this is these sort of statements. Once again, I don't like this. That's why I'm thinking for loop. So yeah, but in the meantime, we can actually do this. So we've done the requirement link task. We'll have that, and then we're going to go down here again. We're just going to paste all of that in and realize that we object results append yada yada yada. Do that. Hit undo. Alright, for a second there I thought I had screwed up royally, but I hadn't. I hate when this does this. No. O is a new line. Okay, so tasks that have a project link. So yeah, we could go through this, have it. I think we can do this better right now. Sorry, I'm just trying to think, how will I attack this problem? All right. So this will now be, instead of requirement item, it will now be project ID. This will be now project. Just do where project. Yeah, all of this can be done in a for loop. And then I can get all the stuff that is, yeah. So I'm just having a quick think at everything. Be also good if this was all stored procedures and yeah. Alright. Alright, so all of that, parent link, and that will actually be project ID. That should be almost all of it. The last thing we need to do is the requirement items themselves. So I'm just going to copy this. We're just going to paste this in. We're going to remove this one line. This will be requirement item. Easy done. We need to insert that. I am just going to use this thing tab. Put it in very, very quickly. Is deleted. This will now be requirement item ID is requirement item ID is null equals false. Requirement item ID, easy done. We don't need to worry about any of this because the requirement item IDs will not have any connections. So this is where we go requirement item in here, and we go in here requirement item title, requirement item scope. There will be oh, no, there is actually a value. Status. Ah, no. Requirement item status, and then requirement item higher or status. I just realized I need to fix that with the tasks. These will be simple value of nothing. We'll be happy with that. Equals value of nothing. Object type is going to be requirement item. The object ID itself will be requirement item. ID, sorry. These will also be values of nothing. So we just go value, nothing, we move on with our day. Alright, so we've got a value of nothing and we move on with our day. Now, I've just realized up here, we've got the task status and then task. Bit of a mistake. System would have been like, what the hell are you going to do? What? All right, now let's call this, and then this will be simply return object result. We're gonna have to fix this up. This is a messy sort of form. I'm just wanting to see if this works. If it works, we're gonna actually have a look at this and we're going to actually shrink it down and see how we can shrink it down. So, going down here, what we're going to do is we've got not the update sprint, but we've got the sprint results, and then we're going to go sprint results dot object results equals self dot object results. There we go, cool. Whether this works or not, let's find out. Let's go over here. Let's get sprint. Yep, cool. Type error. Get object results is missing one argument. Sprint ID. Yes, it is, everyone. Making mistakes straight out the door. That will actually be the PK. Just gotta wait for it to boot back. And we've got an error. Cannot resolve keyword, sprint into field, changes, date modified is deleted, project ID, requirement ID, what line is this? Thank you. Let's. Oh, sorry. Oh, bit of a yawn. All right. Sprint object assignment. What? It's got a sprint ID, thank you very much. Oh, all right. God, this is huge. I'm gonna have to sprint ID. Yeah, all right. So that's got to be sprint ID. Easy done. Simple mistake. Happens to all of us. All right. Query set value for an exact lookup must be limited to one result using slicing. Oh. Okay. So object, all right. Give me 2 seconds. This is where I'm going to look up Python arrays, add 2 arrays together. Append 2 arrays together. All right. All right. Don't fill stuff out. Broken enough stuff. No. Alright, I just needed the extend, not the append. Alright, let's have a look. What is our next problem? Query set value, exact lookup must, oh, this is the same. Tell you what, it is getting far in this, so it actually gets down quite far, so it does this, it does this, it does this, it fails on this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to delete this, and delete this. We are going to do this, and we're going to go A equals this. And I'm going to put a breakpoint right here. If we hit that breakpoint, great. So I'm going to hit send. Doesn't work. All right. So if I scroll down to where it says it doesn't work here. All right. So what have I done? I've broken something in here. Okay, cool. So requirement item, that should work. Here it is. All right, that was it. And then what we want to do is, actually, we just want to undo some of that. Done. That's it. All right, waiting a couple of seconds. We're just going to hit reload. We've hit down here. I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to hit play. I just want to see the results. Oh, all right. Invalid literal for int with base 10. Oh. All right. So now the serializer doesn't like something. So no problem. We're slowly getting through all of this. In this sort of case, what doesn't it like, and where and why? So let's have a look. So scrolling down here, we've got we're just gonna scroll all the way pretty much down to the bottom, don't we? Int value. Oh. Yeah, it's happening right there. Okay, not a problem. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a breakpoint right there. And we're going to hit it. So we've got this data, so we know when we hover over here, we can open this up. I'm just having a look at error message. Invalid data, expected a dictionary but got data type. Okay.
I'm also going to have a look at the sprint results. So if I open this up, sorry, not the sprint results, the object results. If I open this up, we've got a list of 5. We've got descriptions. Yeah, we're quite happy with that. That's a dict of 10. I think in here we've got a value. I think I know what. All right, object dictionaries. Not that one. Sorry, I wanted the sprints. The serializer stuff. Where am I going? What am I talking about? I don't know anymore. Sprint object serializer down here. We've got required for the parent object ID. That is going to be false. And the parent object type is also going to be false. And we're going to be, can we put allow nullable is going to be true. Allow nullable is going to be true. All of this is read-only anyway. So I'm going to put read-only equals true for all of them, and we get rid of that one. And good morning, Emerson. How are you? Did you just wake up? I'm just putting, all right, required. We're getting rid of required from here. As yeah, they're read-only. They're not needed. Required. All right, so the allowed nullables there should work for those. This is taking a little while. Have I hit a breakpoint? Yes, I probably have. There you go. I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. I'm going to wait just a little while. I'm going to hit reload again. Ooh, looks like invalid literal for base 10. Nothing. All right. You just woke up? Fair enough. I dread what time you just woke up. Let's go to the sorry, let's get AFK. Yep, that's okay. All right, so one of the serializers, it is expecting something. What I'm going to do, add inline what up. No, I am going to add a breakpoint right here. We are going to send another little package. I'm going good, yeah. We're porting over some of the Sprint stuff to the API a lot sooner than later, mainly because the serializers in the API will handle stuff a lot better than us, and it gets the inline SQL out of the code. So yeah, we're just doing that today. This is definitely very confusing how this little section was set up. So yeah, getting there. I've just got to find out what's causing the issue. So I'm just going to go view. Can I copy all of this? All right, we're going to go to pretty JSON. We're going to remove all of that. We've hit an error already. Okay. Yeah, a lot of things. I just gotta find out where my error is. We've got start date and end date are optional too, so we need to actually make sure they're nullable. Start date, read only, allow, null equals true. So with the end date, all right. Higher order status, that'll be fine. What I'll do now, that has, whoop, go back, hit play. Now I'm gonna wait for it to do its thing, and then I'm just gonna hit play, knowing full well this is probably not gonna work. Wait. Yeah, it's still doing that thing. And Ivanhoe, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Now, what I could potentially do is default all... Jesus Christ, I'm getting the video feedback and you're just hitting a nice 76.17. Nice. You beat Nightbot. Take that, Nightbot. Alright. What I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially make it so all of these are we don't need the many. Allow null, read only. Allow null, read only. I mean, this is the sprint object serializer. So read only, allow null. I don't know if these are going to work, but what I'm going to do is I am just going to paste them on every single one. And then I am just going to see what happens. This is just an experiment at this sort of stage. I'm not going to push any of this. We will have to delete the duplicates. Alright, I'm just going to grab those three and just put them on there. Alright, cool. You're doing well, that's great to hear. I'm just figuring out what's going wrong here. I think what's actually happening is some of the fields that are blank are actually causing issues in here. So yeah, we'll see. I'll try and get rid of them. Alright, it's taking its time. Did it come back? This probably hasn't come back yet, so I'll just restart the server knowing something's gone wrong. Unexpected keyword blank. Alright, the blank doesn't work. And I don't think null works either, so... So it's like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the API view. I think I know where it is. I'm going to go to this implementation. It's fine if these are blank. So the parent object ID type and all that kind of stuff. Just going to scroll all the way down to here. So I'm getting rid of the start date, end date. I'm getting rid of that and that. So I've only got that data. And then what I can do is start date, end date, that and that. Get rid of that. I'm going to hit reset to the server. Alright. We're going to hit send. We've got the serialization happening. I'm just going to hit play. Boom. All right. Cool. And that's what we want. We want that data down there like that. Perfect. No, wait, that's status results. That we did. But we got this data down here. So the object results. Perfect. All right. This is going good. This means that we can now start pointing the sprints at this. Now, I'm just going to hit send again. It says it took 34 milliseconds. I mean, that's pretty quick. We now need to double check the data that's in there. So if we go object results, we've got 5. If we go to the front end, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7. So we're definitely missing something. We definitely need data in there. Yeah, I've got to do this a better way too. So I think I can get it so it loops. Alright. Oh, we've got an ad coming up soon. I'm just going to snooze that ad. I won't be on for much longer at this moment. Alright. Sadly, didn't get there fully tonight, but let's find out which ones didn't appear. So we've got 3 requirement items. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tasks. I think this task didn't appear. So let's find out. So I'm going to go object results. We've got everything in here. So we've got the description. So we've got object type is task 33 and task 60. So if we go over here, task 33, task 60, done. All right, cool. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this all the way over to there so we can just switch like that. Item 288. So requirement item 288 is there. 186 and 55. So 288, 55, and 186. Now we need task 23 and task 5, which are not there. Okay, so what's happened here is we couldn't fully do that join. That being said, I think we can fix this up right now. I think I can. Whilst everything's still fresh in my head. That was not 5 minutes for that snooze or that outbreak. Alright, going in here, we're gonna go down all of this. Yeah, I've got to start working again soon, so I've got to rush this. I do apologize. So in here, we've got the project, we've got all of this. So requirement item ID in any of those. So this is where I would do an OR statement. So the object assignment requirement that yeah, all right. So up here we would do a queue. We just need to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have to count like that at the moment. So we're going to do 9, and then
Oh, parent ID. Shoot, sorry, I'm just having a quick think. I think I need to grab all of these out of there. I need to have another queue, and I'm going to paste these in here. I'm going to do an OR. Oh, no, this is going to be an AND. And then in here is the two ORs. Alright, going to do that for the first one. I don't like this. Once again, I'll probably do this with a bunch of loops and stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like... yeah, this won't work. Alright, so the plan of attack now is to do something similar like this, except make it very, very generic. So instead of projects, it might be tasks, and then within task it does something and so forth like that. Something very, very generic in a loop. Now the idea is we'll do one loop that deals with anything that has any object connections. So for example, if like this, so you got these tasks that are connected to this. Now these tasks can be connected to a bunch of objects and so forth like that. In this sort of case, what we want is we want to be able to go, all right, cool, this is a subject object of that, yada yada yada, and put it in through like that. I will probably go through, set up an array of different options, loop through it, plug those options in, get those options out for very specific cases. I think that's going to be the best sort of solution. And yeah, I think I'll have to give it a good think. The idea is I want to create something that won't be overly complicated. So yeah. Anyway, let's go find someone to raid. I just realized I'm hoping that add thing let me sleep again. And it says dev. There, done.
Wait, I am...
Ad break. Alright, sorry. I'm going to wait for this ad break to finish. I didn't beat it in time. Sorry, I should have clicked that dismiss again. Alright, we'll put...
Nope, it apparently doesn't.
yeah, we'll put Anna on. Yeah, alright. Yeah, we're close. We're close to this. So... Alright, actually, no, I got an idea. Alright, hang on, bear with me everyone, whilst I discuss this. We've got the parent link in here, requirement item and stuff like that. I can make that a, I can make that whatever I want. And then with this down here, I can make that whatever I want. Whether it's an array or if it's an object.
Yeah, I like that. Anyway, welcome back everyone. We are going to raid, where are my windows? There we go. And it says dev. So I think I figured it out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to build a massive array. I think I can use pretty much everything that is set up there, that I can hit every single permutation that I need, and the array won't be that big. Famous last words. So yeah, I will leave that probably to next stream, just because I need to actually jump back onto work. I've got some late night work stuff that I gotta do, because it tends to sort of bring down a production environment. So yeah, that ends up doing it very late. Anyway, thank you very much everyone tonight for being here. It has been great. We got a lot done. They can talk a bit for the raid. I do hope I will see everyone else next time. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Anyway, thank you very much. And I'm terribly sorry, those on YouTube, that you won't be able to follow the raid, but thank you very much for being here, and I hope to see you next